So the next part of the chapter talks about stock valuation, but it's not really stock valuation the way you might be thinking. You're not going to be able to use these models to determine the price of a stock. This is a financially theoretical calculation, and it's a fairly simplified one as well. So there's two ways they talk about in this chapter: the dividend discount model and the capital asset pricing model, in order to come up with the cost of equity that you need for a firm. So let me write the formulas first. So for the dividend discount model, the formula is that the price of a stock is equal to the dividend 1 year from today divided by R minus G. And here we're going to say P0 is the stock price today. Dividend 1 is the dividend paid in 1 year from today. R is the annual expected shareholder return. So this is really the cost of equity. And G is the annual growth rate. So this is overly simplified and as a formula, because what it does is it assumes same dividend is paid every year, or if it grows at a consistent rate. And if we were to restate this formula and we wanted to get R, which is RE, cost of equity, it would work out as dividend 1 year from today divided by the price of the stock today plus the growth rate. So that'll give you the cost of equity. Capital asset pricing model will also give you the cost of equity, and it does so with this formula. Cost of equity is equal to RF plus beta times RM minus RF. RF is the risk-free return, which is often quoted in a question as the T-bill rate. B is beta. We'll talk about that in a bit as well as the concept of it. It'll be given. RM is the average market return. And the only way this gets a little confusing is this whole thing in the bracket there has a name called the market risk premium. So depending on what you're given in the question, market return or market risk premium, you would plug it in, and both of those would calculate the cost of equity. I'll give you an example for it. Okay, so let's do the dividend discount model first. And here's an example. It says Dania Incorporated has common shares that paid its annual dividend this morning. It is expected to pay $3.60 1 year from today. Okay, so $3.60 in a year. So this is dividend 1 is $3.60. The growth rate is 4%. And shares with a similar risk earn 16%. So they've given us a cost of equity. And it's asking us to calculate what's the price of the share. So the price of the share is going to be, in this case, the dividend 1 year from today divided by R minus G. And they gave it to us, so it's relatively straightforward. 360 over 0.16 minus 0.04. So we get a total value of $30 per share. How could you make this question more difficult? What if they gave you dividend 0, which is commonly quoted? So we just paid a dividend of X. You'd need to convert that to the dividend 1 year from today. So that'll be dividend 0 times 1 plus the annual growth rate of the company. So that's a dividend discount model. Let's do a simple capital asset pricing model calculation and see what they've given us here. So the company has a beta of 2.5. It's 100% equity finance, which really isn't relevant for this question. It has a risk-free rate of return of 5%, so that's RF, and a market risk premium, remember, of 10%. So this is going to be RM minus RF. It's not RM. So if we were to calculate the cost of equity in this case, so RE is equal to the risk-free return plus beta times RM minus RF. So we are told that the T-bill rate was 5%. And we are also told that beta is 2.5. And the market risk premium is 10%. So we get 0.30, or 30% is the cost of equity for this company.